The Vanderbilt stood like a proud old queen on East 78th in Madison. 22 floors of limestone and gargoyles built in 1926 when a penthouse cost less than a new Cadillac. On the 12th floor, behind a door marked 12B, Evelyn Goldstein kept 47 rescue cats, one-eyed Mr. Whiskers, and a secret that could buy the entire block twice over. Everyone in the building called me the crazy cat lady. They had no idea she owned every brick. It started on a Tuesday in October, when the temperature dropped to 41 degrees and Madison Harrington decided to go live on TikTok from the marble lobby. Madison was 34, blonde, and married to Evelyn's only son, Benji Harrington III. Benji to his Yale frat bromies, that spineless trust fund baby to the doorman. She wore a camel Max Mara coat that cost more than Carlos the doorman, made in 3 months, and she was screaming, "Carlos, I swear to God, if that crazy cat lady in 12B leaves one more tuna can in the service elevator, I will call the health department myself." Madison spun the camera toward Evelyn, who was struggling with 4 Whole Foods bags and a cat carrier. "Look at me, chat. This is what happens when you let Section 8 grandmas into pre-war buildings. The smell is unreal." The live chat exploded. "Evict me. Girl, stand up. Tuna cans dead." Evelyn's purple velvet coat, vintage Bergdorf, 1998, brushed the floor as she set the bags down. She smiled the way great white sharks smile right before they bite. "Good morning, Madison dear," she said sweetly. "Mr. Whiskers sends his regards." Madison fake gagged for the camera. "Benji, your mother is hoarding again. Do something." Benji appeared in Patagonia vest and gilt, AirPods dangling like surrender flags. "Mom, we talked about this. The board has rules." "The board?" Evelyn's laugh tinkled like breaking crystal. "Darling, I am the board." Madison howled. "You own 1 vote, Evelyn, 1. We pay your maintenance when you forget." She air-quoted so hard her diamond ring nearly took out Carlos's eye. "You're on a fixed income. Everyone knows." Carlos tried to disappear into the brass mailbox. He'd been doorman for 15 years. He knew who really owned the building. He also knew who tipped him in cash every Christmas. Evelyn, never Madison. Evelyn picked up Mr. Whiskers. The cat hissed at Madison like he had been waiting for this moment his entire 9 lives. "Careful, darling. Some cats have very long claws." She walked to the elevator. The doors closed on Madison, still screaming about lawsuits and viral fame. That night, Evelyn sat in her secret triplex, 12A, 12B, and half of 11B knocked together, surrounded by 47 cats and 1 fireproof safe. Inside the safe, the original 1987 deed to the entire Vanderbilt co-op, purchased for $11 million cash after May husband, Sal, dropped dead at 42 on the floor of Goldman Sachs. She'd never told a soul, not even Benji. She poured myself a small schmerry, Manchevitz, the good stuff, and opened my 2012 iPad. Madison's TikTok had 3.8 million views. The comments were brutal. Evelyn smiled at Mr. Whiskers. "They want a crazy cat lady? Let's give them Catalilla." Phase 1 began the next morning. She started with the maintenance fees. Every apartment got a letter on heavy cream stationery with the Vanderbilt crest. Notice of special assessment. Effective immediately. $18,400 per month per unit. Reason: emergency cat infrastructure upgrades. Madison received this while doing sunrise yoga on the rooftop terrace she didn't actually own. She screamed so loud my Ring camera caught it in 4K. Benji called Evelyn 17 times. She let it ring. By noon, Madison had started a WhatsApp group called Vanderbilt Victims. 43 residents joined. They planned an emergency board meeting to remove the senile cat hoarder from power. They had no idea Evelyn was the sole voting member of the board. The other 4 board members were May Katz, Mr. Whiskers, president, Duchess Fluffington, treasurer, Chairman Meow, secretary, and Sir Scratchalot, legal counsel. The meeting was scheduled for Friday at 7 p.m. in the Gatsby Room. Friday came. 43 angry residents crammed into velvet chairs. Madison wore head-to-toe Chanel and righteous fury. Benji sat beside me looking like a man who just realized his trust fund was written in pencil. At 7:03 p.m., the double doors opened. Evelyn entered in a floor-length sable coat dyed hot pink. Behind me walked Carlos, pushing a silver tea cart with 47 cat carriers stacked like a furry pyramid. Every cat wore a diamond collar. The room went silent. Madison stood. "This is ridiculous! You can't bring animals to a board meeting!" Evelyn smiled. "Darling, the board is already me." She opened the first carrier. Mr. Whiskers leapt onto the mahogany table, sat on the official ledger, and began licking his privates with presidential dignity. "Ladies and gentlemen," Evelyn announced, "allow me to introduce the board of directors." She opened every carrier. 47 cats flooded the room like a tidal wave of fur and vengeance. Duchess Fluffington knocked over Madison's Stanley Cup. Sir Scratch-A-Lot shredded the Chanel jacket. Chairman Meow peed on the emergency petition. Madison screamed, "This is assault!" Evelyn pulled a document from the Memes Kelly bag. Vintage, naturally. "Actually," she said, "this is a board resolution passed unanimously by all 5 voting members." She handed Madison the paper. Resolution 2025-47. 1. All maintenance fees increased to $24,000 per month. 2. Guests under 55 banned permanently. 3. Rooftop terrace converted to catio. 4. Madison and Benjamin Harrington evicted effective midnight. Madison's face went the color of cottage cheese. "She says you can't evict us. We own 15A. Evelyn's smile could have frozen Central Park. "No, darling. You rent 15A from me. The lease expired yesterday." She produced the original 2018 lease, signed by Benji in blue ink, clearly stating month-to-month tenancy at the discretion of landlord Paws and Claws Realty LLC. Madison lunged. Mr. Whiskers hissed. Carlos blocked me like a Secret Service agent. Benji finally found his voice. "Mom, please, we can fix this." Evelyn looked at my son, really looked, for the first time in years. "You stopped being my son the day you let me call me Section 8, she said softly. "You have until midnight. Carlos will help you pack." The room erupted. Residents realized they'd been paying rent to the crazy cat lady for decades. Mrs. Rosenblatt from 9C started clapping. Mr. Finkelstein from 22A shouted, "Mazel tov!" Madison tried one last power play. "I'll sue. I have 12 million followers." Evelyn opened me iPad. "Actually, you have 11.9 million. You lost 100K in the last hour. Something about doxing a senior citizen?" She turned the screen. Madison's sponsor Glossier had just dropped me. Then Skims. Then Goop. Madison's knees buckled. At 11:57 p.m., Carlos wheeled the last Louis Vuitton suitcase into the freight elevator. Madison was sobbing in Balenciaga sweatpants. Benji carried a single box labeled Yale Diploma. Evelyn stood in the lobby with all 47 cats wearing tiny eviction party hats. As the elevator doors closed, Madison screamed, "This isn't over!" Evelyn waved. "Send me a postcard from Brooklyn, darling." 6 months later. The Vanderbilt had been transformed. The rooftop was now the city's most exclusive catio, heated floors, catwalks with Central Park views, a fountain that dispensed salmon broth. Vogue did a 12-page spread, perfectly Manhattan, the billionaire cat lady revolution. Evelyn sat on a velvet chaise in me new penthouse. She'd combined 21 and 22 after evicting a hedge fund bro. She wore the same purple coat, now lined with chinchilla. Taylor Swift dropped by unannounced. Meatcap Meredith loved Mr. Whiskers. They took a selfie that broke the internet. Madison's TikTok was down to 400K followers. Me last video, POV, you bullied the wrong grandma and now live in a 400-square-foot Bushwick walk-up with your mother-in-law's cats judging you from billboards. Benji got a job at Petco. He stocked litter and cried every time he saw the Vanderbilt on the news. One spring afternoon, Evelyn found a letter pushed under me door. Real paper. Benji's handwriting. Mum, I was wrong. About everything. Can I come home? Just to visit. I miss you. I miss the cats. I miss who I was when you still loved me. Evelyn read it twice. Mr. Whiskers rubbed against me ankle. She poured 2 glasses of Manchevitz, set one on the floor for the cat, and wrote on the back of Benji's letter. Darling, the door is always open, but Madison waits in the lobby, with the cats. All 47 of them. Bring treats. She slipped the note under 15A's door, now rented to a lovely lesbian couple who paid on time and adored cats. Then Evelyn Goldstein, the crazy cat lady who owned half the Upper East Side, put on me purple coat and took 47 leashed cats for their evening constitutional through Central Park. Behind me, the Vanderbilt glowed like a crown, and every doorman on Madison Avenue saluted when she passed. Because in New York City, even the gargoyles know, never mess with a woman who owns the building, especially when she has claws.